center defers Sharavathy pumped storage hydroelectric project. This is a 2000 megawatt hydroelectric power project, and the center has stopped clearance, or center has not given clearance for this hydroelectric power project. Why? Because there are serious ecological concerns in this. And this decision was taken at the 11th meeting of the Forest Advisory Committee. It is under the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And what are the minutes of the meeting, or the outcomes of the meeting point towards? They warned of enormous damage to the biodiversity of Western Ghats, one of the world's 34 recognized global biodiversity hotspots. 54 hectares of land have to be diverted for this hydroelectric power project, and that land is ecologically sensitive. By diverting that land, irreversible damages to the ecology can happen. Project name is Sharavathy Pumped Storage Hydroelectric Project. Location Sharavathy River Basin, Shivamogga District, Karnataka. 2000 megawatt is the capacity. Pumped storage hydroelectric project is the type of this particular project. Pumped storage means when the water falls on the turbine, there is another reservoir. From there, the water is pumped again to the higher reservoir, and then from there, water falls again. This is what pumped storage hydroelectric project looks like. Implementing agency Karnataka Power Corporation Limited, and upper reservoir is Talakalale Dam, lower reservoir is Gerusoppa Dam. So from Gerusoppa Dam, water will be pumped to the upper reservoir, that is Talakalale Dam. Okay. That is why it is called as pumped storage hydroelectric project. Key components: 5 tunnels, 8 pumping stations, underground powerhouses will be there. Purpose is to meet peak power demand, support renewable energy storage, and provide drinking water to Bengaluru. Project model similar to Telangana's Kaleshwaram project. Forest land to be diverted, 54 hectares, and this is problematic. Trees affected, over 15,000 trees. Many endemic to Western Ghats only. Endemic to Western Ghats means these trees are not found anywhere else, found in Western Ghats only. The Forest Advisory Committee has deferred approval due to multiple environmental red flags. And what are these red flags, or what are these reasons? First is location in an ecologically fragile zone. Sharavathy Valley Lion-Tailed Macaque Sanctuary. Lion-Tailed Macaque is also endemic to Western Ghats. It is found nowhere. And this is one such reason that the habitat of Lion-Tailed Macaque will be lost. And the forest types are tropical wet evergreen forest, semi-evergreen, and shola grasslands. Shola grasslands are found in the Deccan region, and these ecosystems cannot be restored once destroyed. That is one such thing which you need to know, and that is why irreversible damages, and that is why clearances have not been given. Habitat loss and endangered species threat. Lion-tailed macaque, endangered, endemic to Western Ghats, found nowhere. So this can turn from endangered to extinct. Tiger, leopard, sloth, bear, wild dog, king cobra, Malabar giant squirrel, hornbills, all these will be impacted. A wildlife census recorded 730 lion-tailed macaques in the sanctuary. FAC warned that loss of canopy cover will fragment habitats. Fragment means break the habitats, threatening survival of lion-tailed macaques. Ecological irreversibility. Wet evergreen forests are climax ecosystems. Climax ecosystems are what? Complex, mature, and impossible to replicate. Complex, mature, and impossible to replicate through compensatory afforestation. And hence, climax ecosystems should not be, fiddled with or should not be hindered. FSC stated that the proposed CA site are ecologically different from the habitat being lost. Geological and engineering risks due to tunneling and all. Project involves deep tunneling up to 3.2 kilometers and excavation up to 500 meters. Lies in seismic zone 3 and raising landslide and erosion risk due to slope cutting and all. Combination of seismic vulnerability plus high rainfall would be disastrous for both ecological and human settlements in the vicinity. Legal and procedural issues are there. Transmission line routes may violate the Forest Conservation Act 1980. Forest clearance for these lines is not yet obtained. From where then you will transmit electricity? That has to be obtained earlier. ऐसा ना हो कि dam बन जाए and you cannot, you're generating electricity but you're not allowed to transmit electricity. What is the use of that electricity then? Deputy Inspector General of Forests, Regional Office Bengaluru, and the Chief Wildlife Warden Karnataka have both not recommended the project. So both are not recommending it. So let's see what is the future of this Sharavathy hydroelectric power project. FAC recommendations. Project deferred pending. Detailed hydrological and geological studies should be done. Scientifically designed wildlife mitigation plans should be there. Redesigning of the project layout to minimize tree felling. Consultations with Chief Wildlife Warden and adherence to approved wildlife management plan. All these things should be done. Then we will see if we can give approval to this or not. Ecological and legal concerns. There are biodiversity threats. Project threatens rare endemic species of the Western Ghats, and one such example is lion-tailed macaques. Loss of climax forest. These forests are centuries old. They are mature and not replicable through replantation. So that those will be impacted. Violation of Forest Conservation Act 1980 because transmission lines can do that. They are passing transmission lines is not in line with Forest Conservation Act 1980. Seismic and hydrological risks. Excavations in fragile high rainfall terrain could trigger landslides. And ecosystem service laws, potential impact on carbon sequestration, soil stability and watershed regulation. All these are the concerns or the red flags in a nutshell, which you need to know and understand. But apart from it, you should also know about the river on which this project is, because UPSC, you don't know, can ask questions from rivers also, which are in news. So this Sharavathy river originates in Western Ghats, Shivamogga district, Karnataka. Flow direction is westward. Westward simply means it is flowing this way. And there are very few rivers which flow westwards. One of the few in India. Mouth, it empties into the Arabian Sea near Honavar, Uttar Kannada district. Total length 128 kilometers. Basin area 2985 square kilometers. And if I show it to you on the map, so this is basically this Sharavathy river, this red one which you are seeing, and this is the location of Gerusoppa dam. And another very important waterfall, one of the highest waterfalls in India, that is Jog Falls, it falls in Goa. These falls are in Goa, are also on this river, that is Sharavathy. It is originating over here in Uttar Kannada and draining into the Arabian Sea over here. So Jog Falls, waterfalls, one of the highest in India, that has to be known to you, that is on Sharavathy river, and Gerusoppa dam. Major tributaries of this river: Nandi Hole, Haridravati, Mavina Hole, Hilkunji, Yenne Hole, Hurli Hole, Nagodi Hole. Hole. The way to memorize it is this. Notable feature forms the Jog Falls, one of the India's highest waterfalls, and ecosystems. It is mix of evergreen forests, grasslands, and rocky outcrops within the Western Ghats. And these grasslands are shola grasslands. The Western Ghats, let us know a bit about Western Ghats also. It is spread across 6 states: Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Recognized as one of the world's 34 biodiversity hotspots by Conservation International. And biodiversity hotspots are what? These are those places or those areas where lot of endemic species of flora and fauna are found. Endemic means they are found there only and they are in this region only and they are found nowhere else. Like lion-tailed macaque, endemic. Shola grasslands, endemic. So those regions are categorized as biodiversity hotspots, and Western Ghats is one of those. It is home to over 7,400 plant species, 139 mammal species, with many endemic to the region. Not all of these are endemic, but many of them are endemic. It is also designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2012. It acts like a climate regulator and major watershed for peninsular India, because see, when the the monsoon winds, they come, and these are the mountains over here. Western Ghats are these, the black ones which I have told. So when these moisture laden winds come, they rise up and they shed their moisture over here on this side, and this is the leeward side, and over here, यहाँ पे सूखा रहता है on this side. But here, moisture, lot of rainfall is there, and this is one of the concerns, also the seismic concerns in this particular project. The importance of pumped storage project: energy storage stores surplus energy during off-peak hours, releases it during peak demand. Grid stability helps integrate variable renewable energy sources like solar and wind. And sustainability challenge: must balance energy security with ecological integrity. Obviously, this challenge has to be met by such kind of projects. Way forward in this scenario is reassess project design so that minimal damage is caused to the ecology. Second is comprehensive impact studies should be there. What can be the impact to, which area, ecological impact, seismic impact, legal impact, every kind of impact should be, assessed. Adopt green alternatives like promote distributed solar plus battery systems for energy storage. Strengthen ecosystem based management. Implement Western Ghats Ecology Expert Panel and Kasturi Rangan report recommendations. And community engagement, ensure participation of local and tribal communities in decision making. All these can be looked forward to.